For him, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. So his Jesus says these words. To ask whether Jesus actually ever spoke these words is to miss the point completely, he says. This is neither a lie nor a fiction. It is simply a way of bringing out the truth about the subject which the author wishes to tell the audience. Now, I strongly disagree with Dr. Burridge when he says to ask whether Jesus actually ever spoke these words is to miss the point completely. I believe that if we wish to do responsible Jesus research, then this is precisely the kind of question we must ask. Now, so it is now widely agreed among New Testament scholars that Jesus himself, the historical individual, did not think of himself as divine and did not teach anything like the later doctrine of the Incarnation. The New Testament sayings in which Jesus seems to claim divinity, such as he who has seen me has seen the Father, I and the Father are one, I am the way, the truth, and the life, no one comes to the Father but by me, are all in the Gospel of John, and it is widely agreed by Christian and other scholars that they cannot responsibly be attributed to the historical Jesus, but were words put into his mouth by a Christian writer around the end of the 1st century, some 70 or so years after Jesus' time, and express the evolving faith of the church at that time. I'd like to share with you an important finding which very few ordinary Christians are aware of, the meaning of the term Son of God. Again, modern historical scholarship has thrown important light on this. We now know that the term Son of God was a familiar metaphor within Judaism. Israel as a whole was called God's Son. Adam was called the Son of God. The angels were called sons of God. The ancient Hebrew kings were enthroned as sons of God. And we have in the Old Testament the enthronement formula, Thou art my son, this day I have begotten you, Psalm 2. And indeed, any outstanding pious Jew could be called a son of God, meaning someone who was close to God, doing God's will, perhaps with a special mission from God. But within Judaism, this was quite obviously a metaphor. Jesus used it in this way when he said that we are to forgive our enemies, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven, in Matthew 5. But what happened in the period between Jesus' lifetime and the full development of Trinitarian doctrine is that the metaphorical